All right, this is part 2 of 6.1D using the Gaussian elimination method, and I just didn't have time to put this third example on the last video, so here it is on its own little portion. Okay, so we're going to use row operations to solve the system. And of course, if you've watched the previous video, we know that the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a 1 right here. Well, to create a 1 right there, I'm basically going to divide by 4, or if you want to do it with the row operation symbols, you would say really 1/4, okay, times row 1 to give myself a new row 1. Alright, so let's see. Take 1/4 of that would be 1. A fourth of that would be 5/4. Again, don't be afraid of the fractions. A fourth of that would be 5. Okay, so I've taken this top row and I've done this to it and it gave me this. Okay, a fourth of row 1. Now I'm going to go ahead and copy what I have here. -4/5, -1, and 3. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use this 1 to create an additive inverse for -4/5. Trying to get that as red. There we go. I'm going to create an additive inverse. In other words, if I could just get that to be a 4/5 and then add it to this row, then I'd have a new second row that would have a 0 there. Let's take a look what I mean. I'm going to temporarily, again, if you haven't watched the previous video, you need to watch that. Temporarily multiply row 1 by 4/5. Multiply row 1 by 4/5. I'm going to add it to row 2 to create a new row 2. Alright, let's take a look. I'm going to do this underneath this red stuff. I'm going to take this row right here, row 1, and multiply by 4/5. So I have 4/5. Now what's 4/5 times 5/4? 1. What's 4/5 times 5? The 5's cancel and you get a 4. Now I'm going to write row 2, meaning I'm going to add it to row 2, so I'm going to write row 2 below it. And I get, okay, and then I'm going to add them up to get my new row 2. Here we go. We get a 0 there. What? Okay, now that actually set this up so that would happen. But anyway, what has happened then is we've gotten a 0 on both of those. Let's just continue to write what we have and let's see what this means. We have a 1. We have a 1, 5/4, and a 5. Now, what was our goal? Our goal was to create a 0 here. Well, in creating a 0 there, we got a 0 here. If I have a 0 here, folks, I'm not going to be able to make it into a 1. I can't. Not with the row operations that I'm allowed to do. So this will never, I'm going to write this in, you need to know this, this will never become a 1 like I want it to be. Since it will never become a 1, here's what we have. We basically have this right here as a system that looks like this, as an equation that looks like this. 0 is equal to 7. I don't have any variables there. Well, what do we know about a system of equations when the variables disappear and I have this right here that's not true? If you've looked at my other videos, then you know that we build a stop sign at that point. We create a stop sign and we say, wait a minute, stop, ask the question, is that a true or false statement? Well, this is obviously a false statement. So if it's a false statement after the variables disappear, meaning there's no 1 there, right? Then this is a no solution. Okay? Because that position will never, I can never get it to be a 1. Alright? Alright, not with the row operations that I'm allowed to do. Okay? So there's that last example that might come in handy for you. And I appreciate you watching. See you next time.